time for photography on the radio. Fine photography on the radio.
Can you see it?
I can see it. You know, this is some, you've got some
You know what I see? I see Sara.
photographs here.
Sara Bobeldyk.
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 Yes.
Sara is with us. She is a friend of Chris Tucker, who we've had on the show from All-Star Casts, and Chris is a good friend of yours for a long period of time. And he said, I know this incredibly talented photographer. Sara, it wasn't you he was talking about.
Yeah.
He actually was talking about
Knowing
it.
him, you know.
Who is really starting to
How'd you meet Chris? Because it's
Who's
really
starting
weird,
to-
all the relationships, you know.
gain some
I
traction.
met Chris Tucker and Cindy through Baker Street Pub, where I also work at currently.
Oh, I
You
played
perform
there.
You perform
Oh,
there.
great, yeah. What band?
Chaz DePaulo Band.
And I actually have never eaten there, but let me just point this out. So you are here as a business owner. The business you own is called Latitude 83,
Yes.
and it is a.
This is your own company, right?
Yes. Yes, I started my own company.
You're a photographer, but you are a businesswoman who is now in the process, and you have some of your artwork available in a Colorado gallery right now. Do you not?
It'll be up in March.
Okay,
so March 1st through March 31st.
And she has
where?
Italian photos.
Italian
There was
photos, a lot of them actually. I have. It's on Tennyson Street at Tennyson Coffee House.
Tennyson Coffee House, and you have displayed your portfolios before at other Colorado venues. People can go to your website, which is Latitude and then the numbers 83 as in 83.
Yes.
What's the significance of the name? You knew I was going to ask.
I
right?
knew you were going to ask, and I wish I had a better story for you besides that I was born in 1983, and I looked at where Latitude 83 was because travel photography is what I do, and it was on top of the world, kind of.
What I want you to talk. Let me tell you what I want you to talk about. I want you to talk about creating a business out of your passion. I take it you didn't sit down one day and say, I think there is a market for this type of photography as a businesswoman, and therefore I'm going to learn photography. I suspect you love photography, you love travel, and you said, I've got to find a way to create a business that will help me support my passion. Now, a couple things about that. One is, I think that is right. I think business owners ought to be passionate, David, about their businesses. And we did have a guest on our program, Eric Rhodes, who is the successful publisher. And Eric basically said, look, every business he's ever gone into has begun with his own passion. But talk about that process of saying, I was passionate about something and I decided to make it my business.
And they can't see these pictures, but they are passionate.
Well, they can go to our YouTube channel and see it. But go ahead.
It's hard to actually follow your passion and to make it work and make a living off of it, and a lot of people are scared to do it, and that's why a lot of people who graduated from photography in college, they did, which is not my thing, but they would do weddings or senior portraits because that's where the money is and that's where they're gonna make it as a photographer. And I wanted to follow my passion of traveling and showing people the world through my photographs, and it's not easy. It's not easy to support yourself off that.
But talk about it a little bit, really, in terms of when did you decide, how long have you been in business? I know you must have been a photographer for some time, but how long have you been in business?
For a year.
For a year.
A year now.
Okay. And when you started this, what did you sit down and say? Did you say, I'm going to make an investment, I'm going to spend a certain amount of money to actually make prints, etc., from my photographs, and then start knocking on doors and seeing if I can find people to display them?
Pretty much word of mouth. I was going to get people to buy my photographs and get my work up in galleries, get to know people in the art world down in the Santa Fe Art District, and actually Chris helped me out, and I had to show up in a gallery in his church, and that kind of got my name out there, and soon I figured out that I was going to be able to do this. I was going to be able to sell my work to people. And
Sara, one thing that I see periodically around town is, especially in coffee shops, but there are some other places where you go in and there are paintings or other things on the wall from local artists with a little card that basically says who the artist is or how to contact them. Now, is that a marketing outlet for you? Do you see yourself doing that? And so if people are listening and they have walls and street traffic, should they contact you?
Of course,
Okay.
yes.
And where can they catch you at Baker Street? Which one?
Oh, it's in the Denver Tech Center.
Okay, there you
Off
go.
of Bellevue and Ulster. But on my website, you can get a hold of me, contact me through that. It's www.latitude83.com.
Describe your work for somebody who's listening on the radio. Radio is theater of the mind. Give us a little theater of the mind. What do we see in your work?
You see a lot of color, you see passion, you see beauty. I love to photograph the beautiful landscapes in the world and show people the world through my photographs, because a lot of people won't be able to travel to these places, Bolivia, Peru, Italy, and there's so much beauty and so much color and culture, and I want to try to show that through my photographs.
And how do you get there yourself?
By plane?
I just pick up and travel. I just pick
Sounds
up
like
and
you
go.
just do, and
I
that's
pick
pretty
up
amazing.
and go.
So are you
Yeah.
a Colorado native?
No.
How long have you been in Colorado?
5 years. It's beautiful. I love it.
And what brought you out here? Was it the nature and the wonderful? We have plenty of places to photograph here in Colorado.
Oh yeah, it definitely played a big part in it, and the weather. Because I'm from Michigan, and the weather there is terrible.
Wasn't great. And when did you pick up your first camera and say, "I'm going to be a photographer"?
I fell in love with photography in the darkroom in college.
Okay. And where was
I-
college?
Where?
Where?
Grand Valley State University
Okay.
in Michigan.
Is that a little school?
No, it's
fairly big,
it's a
no?
major state school, 40,000
Yeah.
enrolled.
Wow.
Isn't that good? I'm making this up, David.
It's D3 thing. But yeah, I fell in love in the darkroom, and I know that now everything's pretty much digital. And for me, it was learning the techniques in the darkroom and developing my own film and seeing my images come up in a plate, and it was.
Are you connected? Is within Colorado? Is there a group, formal, informal, of photographers who are in business?
I would have to look into that.
So right now you're not.
Yeah, right now there's not. So if anyone knows of,
You're not.
Are you doing anything
I'm sure
outside
there are,
of
but
travel photo or no?
nope. I decided to just focus on my passion.
And are there role models? I mean, what comes to mind in some ways to me is Ansel Adams. You know, as,
Oh, yes.
and he's a he did a lot of his photography in the mountains in Colorado and Yosemite,
mhm.
things along those lines. Who are some of your photographic muses, if you will? Or you just
It's sad to say that. Probably just Ansel Adams, and
Okay.
I studied a lot of photographers in college and stuff, but
was that your degree?
yeah, photography and graphic design major.
Now,
Yeah.
we're looking at in the studio and on YouTube. We'll be able to see some of them, and
Yes.
we have our own Avital, our own staff photographer.
There's a picture of a beach in Italy with two orange and black umbrellas and this deep azul water that looks
David,
like
you
could
could
look
write
right through to
music.
the bottom.
You could write music to these.
You could write captions.
Sure.
You could write
Sure.
music to all of this stuff. But in general, people will take a look at these and be able to see at least some of this stuff online. But how many of your photographs are available from your website in terms of what's for sale?
Any of them are to purchase.
So you can download at will.
No, they have to contact me,
Okay.
and then not at will. Then I really wouldn't have a job.
No, I mean as pay as you go sort of thing.
Yeah, or
That's
just
like,
contact me. Let me
because
know
music you
which
can
image.
download and pay as you go. So that's something
So I have two
that
pragmatic
maybe you can
questions.
look
Then
forward
and we only have a minute left. So one is, do you shoot with any particular camera?
A Canon, yes, I'm
Canon?
a Canon user.
Canon.
60D.
Okay, 60. And how important, these are all sort of, I don't know what you call these things. They're not frames, but they're
Canvas.
canvases. Is that how your preferred place to put your photos, on a canvas?
Um,
Photo canvas?
Some people, I've noticed about 50-50. Half the people that I talk to love the canvas and half love the matted and framed. And so either way, if someone contacts me and wants to purchase an image, just let me know.
Okay,
so do you-
wait a minute, we got to cut it out. It's
Okay.
Sara Bobeldyk, Latitude 83. You can go to her website at www.latitude83.com. If you have if you have a restaurant, a coffee shop, someplace where you'd like to display some gorgeous photography, contact Sara. She could put them up, help decorate your walls, and you help a young business person succeed.
And remember to tip her down at Baker Street.
And
But
that
don't
too.
tip her
There
over.
you go.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.